Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another BKFC Reddit Ask Me Anything. We're joined by one of the stars of up north, Kayden Giroux. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
All right. So, is it just Kayden Giroux? Do you have a nickname? We've only seen you fight one time, so we don't know a ton about you.
Yeah, for BKFC, I came up with the nickname the Giant because I remember at the UFC gym, I started training when I was 14. I was probably like 6 feet tall, 250 pounds. So I was a big boy. So everyone was calling me like Andre the Giant. So I came
Yeah.
up with that nickname, the Giant. So I used that one for BKFC, but my mom wanted me to come up with a new nickname. So it's Muskwa now. So it's Cree but it translates to bear in English. So
So,
that's my new
Kayden the
nickname
Bear.
now. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, you said when you were 16, you look like you're 17. How old are you? You have a very young looking face, which isn't a bad thing. I was very young looking when I was younger, too. Now I'm in my 40s and I'm starting to show it with the gray hair. But how old are you?
21. I just turned 21 in September.
You're 21, you're a professional athlete, people are watching you on television. Is this the way you saw your life going when you were a kid?
Kind of, yeah. I remember watching my dad. He used to watch UFC, and I remember 5 years old. I seen him watching UFC, and I loved fighting, So I kind of saw it. I love WWE too, so I used to always wrestle with all my friends, hit kids with Stone Cold Stunner. So I kind of saw it for myself, but yeah, it's really happening now, so it's good.
When you were a kid watching WWE, did you know the moves were fake? I remember as a kid, I used to hit people with like some hardcore moves, and I didn't realize, you pull your punches, or I was really fucking hurting people. And now as an adult, you're like, oh, you weren't supposed to do it like that.
Yeah. No, I didn't know it was fake until I was probably like maybe 12 or 13. Like I remember I put this kid in like an attitude adjustment and like flipped him on his back, and then he's like huffing and puffing, and everyone was just kind of looking at me like they didn't want to hang out with me no more. I just felt bad. But yeah.
When I was a kid, there was a guy named Nikolai Volkov, and he would headbutt coconuts and smash coconuts. So in my very first street fight, I remember getting on top of this kid, and I was just headbutting the fuck out of him. Because I watched so much, there was no UFC back when I was a kid, so I watched all that wrestling, and
Yeah.
it worked. And that kid did not like that.
No, no. Those headbutts suck.
Okay, so you are a guy who hits so hard you make people like fall out of their ankles. You had a crazy fight. Like it was one of those things I really want to see. You got the look and you're a big kid, and I was really hoping to see more of your fight. But you hit the dude, and like I don't know if he fractured his ankle or dislocated or what happened, but like I was really hoping to see more of you. Do you just hit that hard, or was it a freak thing? Like what happened?
Honestly, I don't even know. I think it was just perfectly placed. I wanted the fight to go on longer too. Like I wanted to showcase my skills. But yeah, I just hit him with that overhand over the top, and then I just knocked him down. And I remember Big Dan Murgielada came coming up to me. He's like, he broke his ankle. I'm like, no way. And then it only lasted like 5 seconds. It was crazy. I thought it would have. Yeah, I was hoping for it to go on longer, but it is what it is. It ended up going viral. The clip got like 7 million views. ESPN Ringside shared it. It was crazy. It was surreal.
Watching him pop his ankle back in, I was like, holy shit, that was freaky.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that. I was like, man, this guy, he's pretty tough, but I'm sure he was juiced to the gills. He was like big ripped guy. I was like, it was crazy. No, he
Okay,
was
so
tough.
tell me about this. So you're a big UFC fan growing up, and Dan Mergliotta is reffing your fight. Like, how cool is that?
That was so cool. Like I was freaking out. Like when I noticed it was him, I was like, no way. Like I did not expect him to be in Edmonton that night. So that was such a cool moment. I was kind of fanning out when I was in the ring with him. I was like, yo, I'm a big fan. He was like, nice to meet you. It was really cool.
I think it's fun to like we're starting to see some of the older UFC guys come and talking to Chris Lytle and getting to meet all these people, and you're like, I used to watch you and play you as a video game as a kid, and now we're interacting and we're friends. It's insane.
Yeah, literally. Like I I was playing UFC like Undisputed 2009 with my dad and them, and like, yeah, I remember just using them on the game. Dan would be refereeing the fight, and now he's like refereeing me in like real life. So it's crazy.
Tell us about your combat experience growing up, please.
Oh man. So growing up, I kind of grew up in a small town, British Columbia. I'd be fighting a lot. It's like I remember I was being babysat by like 13-year-olds, and they'd get me to go out and go fight kids. I was fighting kids when I was like 5, 6 years old. And then, yeah, I ended up fighting lots in school too. Like, I'd never get expelled. Like, they put me in the classroom, they put me in detention pretty much, like almost every other week. So I'd be fighting a lot growing up. And my mom was scared to put me in mixed martial arts because she thought I'd become a bully, but she put me in it when I was like 14, and it really helped me out so much. Like I became a lot more calm now. So yeah.
Okay, so you didn't grow up boxing or anything. It was mostly you started straight into mixed martial arts. That's what I was curious about. Is like, I mean, like I said, you look like you had fantastic hands, and a little bit we got to see it. So is it you had the mixed martial arts background, and then you transitioned to boxing, or what exactly?
Um, I just learned everything by watching UFC. So I'd say I didn't really have no background except fighting in the streets, I guess. Until I was 14, then I started doing MMA because I went to this UFC gym. I saw I saw a poster. I went to the fair here in Edmonton, and then there was an ad on the wall saying UFC gym. I'm like, what? The UFC gym? No way. So I had to go sign up. And then yeah, I remember training like every day. I trained like 4 hours a day, and I ended up breaking my collarbone. And then they closed the gym for like maybe yeah, they closed the gym permanently. I guess they weren't making enough money. But the head coach there ended up opening his own gym in his Wolf House. That's where I train now. So yeah, started MMA, and then I wanted to do MMA in 2021 because I found the gym again, and I told the coach I was like I want to do mixed martial arts, and he told me he was like get 10 boxing matches first. He's like get your hands good because a lot of MMA fighters don't have good hands.
Sure.
So that's what I ended up doing. I did like I went 7-2 as an amateur. I was like 5-0. I ended up going to provincials, and then I went to nationals. Ended up losing. This fought this kid who was like very experienced. He started boxing when he was like 13, and he just outboxed me.
Sure.
So yeah, I ended up going 7-2, and then I ended up going professional just last year. I did a specialized rules. It was boxing with MMA gloves.
Okay.
Yeah, and I did that. Ended up stopping this guy in the third round, and then I saw BKFC was coming to Edmonton, and I ended up getting the opportunity to go fight there. So yeah, it was good.
So is the goal still to go to MMA, or do you like how fast BKFC is rising and you see like that being like it seems like BKFC is a fast track for people. Like you look at somebody like Kai Stewart, who if he was fighting on the regional MMA scene, no one would know him, but like he's a worldwide name now from fighting BKFC.
Yeah, no, I do actually. Yeah, I loved it. The fast pace, bare knuckle. It's yeah, it feels really natural to me. So I enjoy it, but my end goal is still MMA. I
Sure.
think I still want to pursue that, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I got a bare knuckle coming up, Havoc 20 in Red Deer, and then I know there's talks of maybe BKFC again, so we'll see.
Okay, so you do have a fight coming up. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I'll be fighting March 28th, Red Deer Resort Casino against Jason Douglas. So yeah, I just found out about him. I guess his whole thing's like Friday the 13th because his name's Jason. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, we'll see.
Is it boxing or bare knuckle?
Bare knuckle. It's a bare knuckle and MMA show. So
Okay.
we'll be doing bare knuckle inside of the MMA cage. But yeah, I'll be doing bare knuckle this one.
I wish BKFC could keep you guys more active because you're like definitely like I said you're a young guy and you've got the you clearly have the dog and you love the street fight a lot. That's the one thing that I like I'm such disappointed in is we BKFC can't keep you guys more active. And I know as a professional fighter you need to make money because that's what helps you train. So can you talk about
Yeah.
like you need to stay active to sharpen your tools. Is that why you're taking this fight, or you get bored and you want to fight, or?
Yeah, it keeps me out of trouble because like if I'm not training, I'm like, I don't know, had a I'd go out drinking, doing stupid stuff. But now I'm like really focused on training and really reaching my full potential. So yeah, I want to stay active because I know I want to get the experience so I can get ready for a title fight. I want to get a title and represent for my people and hopefully, take it all the way if I can. So yeah, I like to stay active.
So you have a Cree nickname. Are you part of the Cree Nation yourself, or?
Yeah, yeah, I am. I know I look a little white, but I'm actually Cree. My whole family. You see them, they're like native. They're brown, but yeah. My dad's dad, he's like full German,
Okay.
and then my dad's mom is like full native. So I'm mixed with German. So yeah, but I'm Cree. I'm part of the Cree people.
Okay, so Chris Camozzi's going to Italy because his grandparents came from Italy. They are going to be working on doing a BKFC Germany. So it sounds like they need to send you there so you can represent in front of some of your old ancestors over there, right?
Yeah, I mean, why not? I'd love to go to Germany. I never got to meet my grandpa because like he left. My dad never met him either, but it'd still be cool to go out, experience that.
Okay, so I've interviewed Wild Boy in the past, so he's the guy I reached out to, and he said ask him about being a street kid and putting all that stuff aside and getting away from it to focus on training and being a professional athlete. Pretty much anytime he's out of the gym, he's getting in trouble. So talk about the gym keeping him out of trouble and on the straight edge.
Yeah, I think maybe like 2 weeks before my BKFC fight, um, I ended up getting to a fight and I dislocated my finger. Yeah, it was crazy. I wasn't really taking it serious then, but my whole mindset switched now, and yeah, I'm keeping it off the streets. Keeping it professional now because I don't want to risk throwing away my career over stupid stuff.
And that's the crazy thing. You're a professional athlete. People view you as a paycheck now. Like I get this guy to hit me, I make him mad, he hits me, and then I sue him.
Exactly, yeah. So it's about being the bigger man, and just walking away. But yeah, a lot of times I don't even look for it. People just see my baby face, and just like to start shit with me. But I usually end up finishing it. But it's better to just walk away.
Why is Wolfhouse such a dominant force in bare knuckle?
mm, I'd say Parvez is a really experienced coach. He's really good in boxing. He has the fundamentals, and I think, yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of dogs at Wolf House too, so there are a lot of them are built for the bare knuckle. To be honest,
Which coach are you talking about?
uh, the head coach. He's the head coach at the Wolf House gym. His name's Parvez Gula.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he a guy that back in the day, if he was younger, you could have seen fighting bare knuckle? You think too?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, he's more of a martial artist. Like, I don't think he was crazy about the competing, but he could sure. I know he could fight. Like he was a champion. He fought in organizations in Canada. He's experienced. I'm sure you would have saw him bare knuckle if it was around when he was fighting.
Now BKFC when they went and they did tryouts at your guys' gym, right?
Yeah, yeah, they did.
Is
I
that how
think it was
you got selected?
November. I missed it actually. I didn't end up going because again I was kind of being stupid drinking, so I missed the opportunity. But as soon as I found out they're coming back, I told Parvez, I was like, man, I'd love to get on that. And I told Chris Lytle too, because I ended up going to the bare knuckle fights when they came to Edmonton.
Mm.
I ended up running into him in the casino afterwards, and I told him, I was like, if you guys come back, I'd love to get on the card. And he was like, yeah, man, reach out to Ryan Ford. He's a good connection. So yeah, they ended up coming back. I got on the card, and yeah, I ended up stopping that guy in like 10 seconds.
You could be the ankle breaker. You know what I mean? Like, Kayden the ankle breaker.
Yeah, that would work. Hit guys so hard, break their ankle.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we've seen some of your guys come to the States. Is that the goal? You want to come fight in the States? It seems like everybody outside the United States. I want to get a fight in the States. Like, how much would it mean for you to be able to come to the States and fight?
It'd be huge. I'd like to fight. I'd love to fight in the States. That's what the plan is this year. I think I want to go to the States maybe. Yeah, for sure. This year I want to get a fight in the States. Even in Brazil, it don't matter. I'd like to go anywhere. I'd like to travel the world and fight. I got yeah, I got a lot of goals. I'd like to fight everywhere, go international.
So growing up, up in Canada, were you a hockey player at all, or you were more into the combat
No,
sports?
I was never really a hockey player. My brother and my dad are huge hockey fans. They're always into hockey, but yeah, no, that wasn't really for me. I was into like WWE and UFC and stuff like that, like combat sports. That's what I like doing. And always getting into fights in school. So yeah, I wasn't really a hockey player, no.
Okay, so you're doing the boxing and the bare knuckle boxing, and you want to do the MMA. Is the end goal to maybe try to get in the WWE? It seems like we've seen some people do that.
Oh, no, it's not really in my mind no more.
Okay.
The end goal is probably UFC. I think that'd be my end goal, is to make it to the UFC.
It'd be great if they could do like a big fight up there in Canada and Connor shows up. You know what I mean? Because we're starting to see him at more and more of the events. So I'm sure like meeting Connor would be really cool.
Yeah, no, that'd be really cool. I know he's a big part of the BKFC now. He's a co-promoter,
Yeah.
owner too. So yeah, it's definitely possible. It'd be awesome to meet him.
Do you have your passport? Like if BKFC was to say, hey, we're ready for you to come to the States, you have your passport ready? I've talked to some fighters and they're like, oh, I want to get on this card. And they go, well, but first I have to get my passport. So are you prepared if for
I'm in the same boat. I got to get my passport. That's what I've been lacking on. So I'm getting on it right now though. So hopefully I'll have it before they give me the call. So I got to make sure I get on that right away.
you and I were supposed to do the interview, but you work a lot. What do you do for a day job?
Right now I'm working construction. So I do like concrete. I work from 7 to 4:30 usually. So I'm really busy. I go work full time and I go train right after, 6 days a week. 5 days I work, and because I get the weekends off. But yeah, I do
Dude, concrete's the
construction.
worst. Concrete sucks. Like breaking concrete, oh, it's the worst.
Yeah. Have you heard of cribbing?
What's that?
So cribbing is kind of just pouring concrete, standing up walls, and then it's kind of just strip off the material off after. That's basically all it
Oh,
is. We're
okay.
just building the foundation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, the last question I usually ask people is like, and it's weird because when you talk to professional fighters, you would assume that most fighters used to fight a lot when they were young. But like I interviewed Joy Boy last night, and he said he'd never been in a fight until he got in a professional boxing fight. You, we know, fought a lot, but do you remember the very first time you got in a fist fight and you punched somebody out of anger?
I think, yeah, I remember the first time I got into a fist fight. It was me and my brother. I was probably like 4 years old, and he's 8. He's like 4 years older than me. And I remember he used to beat me up until I turned 4. And then my mom was like, just getting tired of us always fighting. So she was like, "You guys go at it. You guys go hard." And me and him just were fighting, and we were both bleeding. Yeah, it was bad. My mom just started screaming. She's like, "Stop! Stop!" So that was like most vivid fight I remember. The first fight I remember, and then yeah.
in between fights, like how long do you like to like take off? Are you one of those guys who wants to like always be active? I talk to some guys and they're like, I fight and then I want 2 months off so I can hang out and do my own stuff and then a fight. Are you one of those guys who wants to fight all the time, or do you like having the downtime?
I want to fight all the time. I want to be very active. That's what I plan on doing this year. I want to get at least like maybe 3 or 4 fights this year. So I plan on being very active going forward, if my body will allow me to. But yeah, I plan on being active. I like being active. I like fighting. I love it. So yeah.
Have you heard any news about BKFC going to Canada? I had heard from one person say that, like it was on hold for a while. So I haven't heard anything. And I know they weren't going to go there in the winter. But like I said, it seems like I've heard no news. And tomorrow they might announce that they're going to Canada. I have no idea. But like I haven't heard anything.
I'm not sure. I heard they were supposed to be coming back to Edmonton, and they wanted to come back to Edmonton maybe in the summer. That's what I heard, but nothing that the BKFC announced. But yeah, there was talks about them coming back here. So I don't know. I'm not for sure.
I would love to see like Wolf House. You guys have basically your own stable of fighters. I would love to see Wolf House take on like another big gym, from the United States, either like Genesis out there in Colorado or Shift down there. Like I think it'd be cool to do a team versus team and Canada versus US. I think it'd be a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
No, I agree. Like that'd be awesome. I'd love to do that, especially with the trade wars and Donald Trump. Everything that's going on with the politics. That'd be cool. I'd be down for it.
And you saw how successful the Four Nations hockey thing was when it was Canada versus US. Like it was, and you dirty Canadians are booing our national anthem and stuff.
Oh,
It's kind of fun to have that rivalry.
yeah, I know. I don't agree with that. I don't. That's a little disrespectful, but people are gonna do what they do. But yeah, no, it was awesome. Canada won it. I was happy to see. Mick.
As go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, McJesus scored in overtime for us.
Yeah. As someone like I love, the Colorado Avalanche. I'm from Colorado. I live in Wisconsin now, but I had Nate McKinnon's, a Colorado Avalanche in my car. So
Yeah,
it sucks to be like booing those guys because like they're my guys that I love to watch. But then you're like, US has got to win.
yeah, you gotta cheer for your country, I guess. Yeah.
If I could watch you fight anybody from Edmonton, I like hockey. I would love to see you fight Evander Kane because I just don't like that guy.
You don't like him. I'm probably my favorite hockey player. That's
I can see
crazy.
that. I can.
Yeah.
To me, I think he's a dirt. I would think that you would like Claude Giroux since you guys have the same last name.
Yeah, Claude Giroux too. I'm a big Ottawa Senators fan. I used to tell kids that that's my cousin, but he's not.
Is there a lot of Giroux where you live?
Yeah, I got my family is a little up north in Alberta. That's where my band is, like my reservation
Okay.
in Drift Pile. So yeah, I got there's a couple of Giroux over here. There's a couple, yeah.
How important to you is your like Cree ancestry? And I mean, do you enjoy like, going back and seeing your people? And do you do any like ceremonial stuff or?
Yeah, usually me and my dad, my brother will go take a trip up to our res every year for a powwow. So yeah, I like to try to be close with everyone there, and I try to do it as much as possible. I'm trying to get closer with everyone there. So usually once a year we'll go and go to the powwow.
Awesome. All right. Well, I don't know. You have to say your fight name again, like Kayden the Bear. Like I can get the bear. Like
Yeah,
I wrestle alligator, so I'm a simple-minded gator wrestler. I don't know how to say it in Cree again, but I think it's badass. It sounds great in Cree, but at least I know it's the bear.
yeah. Kayden Muskwa Giroux. We'll see if it
Muskwa.
sticks. It's something my mom wished for me to go with. So I'm respecting her wishes, going with Muskwa.
Awesome.
Yeah, it translates to bear though.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, listen, go get that win in the other organization and then come back. Hopefully we get to see you. Get your damn passport. That way, if they need you to come down to Montana or something. But I look forward to
Yeah.
talking to you again. You're a nice guy. Stay off the street fights. No more street fighting.
Will do. Will do.
Do you have any messages or shout outs you'd like to do before we call it over?
Yeah. I'll see everyone March 28th. Havoc 20. I'll be sending Jason Douglas to the dream world, all due respect, but it's going night-night. Yeah, that's about it.
Do you have a prediction for this fight?
I'd say round 2 TKO.
Cool. All right, man. Yeah. Listen, I would say break a leg, but it sounds like, like that's what you do anyway. So, like best of luck, and I can't wait to talk to you again, man. Thanks so much.
Okay, thanks for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Sure. See you, bud. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, see you.